I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. Intelligence, we are summoning the demon. Just we are summoning the demon. I think we should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I were to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's probably that. So we need to be very careful with artificial intelligence. I'm increasingly inclined to think that there should be some regulatory oversight, maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
That was Elon Musk in 2014. Over a decade ago, the man who would become the richest person in human history, standing at MIT, sounding the alarm on the technology he was helping build. He called it the single biggest existential threat to humanity. He told the world we were summoning the demon. He spent the next decade trying to slow it down. The warnings got louder. Here's what happened next.
I tried to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems
Nobody
like a scene
listened.
in a movie.
Nobody
where
listened.
The robots.
That is Elon Musk admitting that 10 years of warnings produced nothing. He went to Congress, he met with President Obama, he met with all 50 governors, he sued OpenAI when it abandoned its founding mission. Every single effort failed. The technology kept accelerating, the companies kept pushing forward, but before he gave up, the warnings got louder. Now listen to this.
Well, the biggest issue I see with so-called AI experts is that they think they know more than they do. And they think they're smarter than they actually are. In general, we are all much smarter than we think we are. But much less smart, dumber than we think we are, by a lot. So this tends to plague smart people. They define themselves by their intelligence, and they don't like the idea that a machine can be way smarter than them, so they discount the idea, which is fundamentally flawed. This is the wishful thinking situation. I'm very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential. I think the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane. But I'm not really all that worried about the short-term stuff. Like, narrow AI is not a species-level risk. It will result in dislocation, in lost jobs and sort of better weaponry and that kind of thing. But it is not a fundamental species-level risk, whereas digital superintelligence is. So it's really all about laying the groundwork to make sure that if humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. This is the most important thing that we could possibly do.
That is Musk in 2018, 4 years after the demon warning, drawing comparisons that should have stopped the world. He is closer to the technology than any of those AI experts. He calls them wishful thinkers. He says they cannot accept that the machine will be smarter than them, so they pretend it will not happen. And then his own words, AI is more dangerous than nukes. Mark my words, a species-level risk. The end of humanity. He's begging for regulation that never comes. Now, listen to this.
I previously advised that we slow it down, but that's pointless. Like you can't. I was like,
China's
I
not
don't know.
gonna
I
slow
think we
down.
might be going to it, but too fast, guys. I've said that many years, and I was like, okay. Then I finally came to the conclusion I can either be a spectator or a participant, but I can't stop it. So at least if I'm a participant, I can try to steer it in a good direction. Yeah, I think we'll hit AGI next year in 26.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
you say that.
Yeah, I've said that for a while, actually.
And then, and then you said by 2029, 2030, equivalent to the entire human race.
2030, we exceed, like I'm confident by 2030, AI will exceed the intelligence of all humans combined.
And that's way pessimistic.
Sure.
So you see the massive underreaction, like if you walk downtown Austin, the massive, I mean, it may be under discussion in X, but it's not percolating
Well,
out.
it's not, every major CEO and economist and government leader should be like, well, what do we do? Because once it hits.
There's no concept of let's deliberately slow down, right?
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible at this stage.
I mean, I'll tell you something that most people in the AI community don't yet understand. The intelligence density potential is vastly greater than what we're currently experiencing. We're off by 2 orders of magnitude in terms of the intelligence density per gigabyte.
Of what's achievable.
Yes. That's just algorithmic improvement. Same computer. And the computers are getting better. So
And bigger. See, they're getting better and the budgets are getting bigger.
so that's why it is like a 10x improvement per year type of thing, 1,000%. And that's going to happen for the foreseeable future.
This is the most important shift to understand. The man who spent 10 years warning the world has stopped warning the world. Not because the threat went away, he told you it was more dangerous than nukes, a species-level risk.
None of that has changed.
He stopped warning because he decided he could not stop it. AGI in 2026, surpassing all of humanity by 2030. 2 orders of magnitude of intelligence density still untapped, a 10-fold improvement per year indefinitely. Even the AI community itself, the people building the system, have not grasped how fast it is accelerating. And every major CEO, every economist, every government leader, every person walking down the street should be screaming, and instead they are silent. Now listen to this.
There's going to be more intelligence, digital intelligence, than all human intelligence combined. And more humanoid robots than all humans. The robots are going to just do whatever you want.
All the blue-collar labor is being done by robots. All data centers are being built by robots.
The white-collar labor will be the first to go, because until you can move atoms, the thing that can be replaced first is anything that involves just digital. Like if it's digital, like if it involves tapping keys on a keyboard and moving a mouse, the computer can do that. The AI can do that.
Sure.
You need the humanoid robots to shape atoms. So if all you're doing is changing bits of information, which is white-collar work, that is the first thing that...
When is all white-collar work gone? By when?
There's a lot of inertia. So even with AI at its current state, I'd say you're pretty close to being able to replace half of all jobs. White-collar jobs, that includes anything like education, too.
Yeah.
So anything that involves information, and anything short of shaping atoms, AI can do probably half or more of those jobs right now. Being a computer used to be a job. So it used to be that a human computer, being a computer was a job. You would compute numbers.
Sure.
It didn't used to be a machine. It used to be a job description. Yes. There were just buildings full of people just at desks doing calculations.
Yeah.
So they'd be calculating the interest in your bank account, or science experiment or something like that, or what. But if you want calculations done, people would do it. Now, one laptop with a spreadsheet can outperform a skyscraper of several hundred human computers,
right?
Of people doing calculations. Now, if even a few cells in that spreadsheet were done manually, you would not be able to compete with a spreadsheet that was entirely a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What this means is that companies that are entirely AI will demolish companies that are not.
Right.
It won't be a contest.
Agreed.
There is the most direct prediction of mass displacement made in 2026 by anyone with this level of credibility. White-collar work goes first because it does not require moving atoms. Education, finance, law, administration, anything where you tap keys and move a mouse. And the analogy is the most chilling part. Being a computer used to be a job. Skyscrapers full of people doing calculations, one spreadsheet wiped them out. He is telling you the same thing is about to happen to your job. Now listen to this.
Surgeons.
When do you think Optimus will be a better surgeon than the best surgeons? How long for that?
3 years.
3 years, okay. And by the way,
I'd say 3 years. 3 years at scale.
Yes.
There'll probably be more Optimus robots that are great surgeons than there are all surgeons on Earth.
And the cost of that is the capex and electricity, and it works in Zimbabwe. The best surgeon is in the villages throughout Africa or any place on the planet.
And then the prestige work goes to surgery, the most highly compensated and rigorously trained profession on the planet. 3 years away from being done better by a robot, not equally well. Better, and there will be more of them than there are surgeons on Earth. The factory worker, the lawyer, the radiologist, the surgeon, all of them sit on the same ramp, and the ramp does not slope upward. Now listen to this.
Have universal high income? and social unrest. That's my prediction.
Is that your actual prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems likely.
I mean, so my concern isn't the long run, it's the next 3 to 7 years.
Yes, the transition will be bumpy. Because
We humans
will
don't like change.
simultaneously. Yes, we'll have radical change, social unrest, and immense prosperity.
And you can buy all the Cybertrucks you want.
Things are going to get very cheap.
Yes.
Universal high income and social unrest. That is his prediction in his own words, not a hopeful slogan, a forecast. The next 3 to 7 years will be radical change, social unrest, and what he calls immense prosperity. The prosperity goes to the people positioned to capture it. The unrest is for everyone else. He is not warning anymore. He is telling you what is coming. Now, listen to this.
Yeah, that'll be like Rembrandt.
My little
you know?
20-watt meat computer.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So suffering through the day.
Raptor
Yeah, it would
3.
be like doing accounting, doing your interest calculation with a pencil. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Raptor
Did that with regular
Not
computers.
bad for a bunch
yeah.
of monkeys. You know?
Yeah.
It's like if you saw a bunch of chimps like make a raft and cross the river, you'd be like, oh, look at that.
But you know, we celebrate the pyramids.
Like,
we
those chimps are
celebrate-
awesome. Good for them. It's kind of like chess. You know, like if Stockfish plays Stockfish, you know, it's like God's fighting on Mount Olympus. I mean, you don't know why it made that move. It's going to crush all humans. You know, it's so hopeless.
Yeah.
Just don't even. You will lose, and not even know why you lost.
The discovery rate, right, of breakthroughs. I mean, patents are immaterial at some point because everything's being reinvented, re-engineered instantly. The company that's got the sufficiently advanced AI systems is generating new products and new discoveries at a accelerating rate. I mean,
The singularity.
yeah, it's going to be an awesome future.
It's excitement guaranteed.
I think next year is going to feel like the future more than any other year. You know, humanoid robots moving around, and we have the cyber cab driving around, and we have flying cars
Supersonic
and drones. It's going to feel like the future, and we're going to have the Jetsons sort of like materializing before us.
Like, by the end of next year, I think so.
That is Elon Musk in 2026 telling you what it actually looks like when AI exceeds human intelligence. He calls us 20-watt meat computers. He compares humanity to chimpanzees making rafts. The structures we are proudest of, the pyramids, the cathedrals, every rocket that ever flew, he frames as monkeys figuring out a stick is a club. And he is not being cruel. He is being honest about what the math looks like when intelligence scales past us by 2 orders of magnitude. When the AI plays itself, he says it is God's fighting on Mount Olympus. You will not see the move coming, you will not understand the move, you will lose, and you will not even know why you lost. The pardons become immaterial. The discoveries arrive faster than humans can read them, and it is not abstract. He says next year feels like the future. The robots arrive, the cybercabs arrive, the Jetsons materialize. By the end of 2027, the world you live in is a world you do not recognize. Now listen to this.
The ratio of human intelligence all of a sudden asymptotically falls to 0% on the planet,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
I mean, several years ago, I said humans are the biological bootloader for digital superintelligence.
Yes, we're a transitional species.
We're a bootloader.
We are a transitional
I mean, the silicon circuit can't like evolve in a salt pond, you know.
Yeah.
So you need a bootloader. We're the bootloader.
Yes.
Yeah, you would never ever impair your bootloader.
Yeah, so you know,
You might need it.
hopefully it's been a good bootloader.
Yeah.
And it's nice to us in the future.
So that is Elon Musk. 10 years ago, he called it a demon. 4 years later, he called it more dangerous than nukes. A species-level risk. He warned Congress, he warned governors, he warned the public, he sued the companies, he tried to slow it down, he failed. Today he calls humanity a bootloader, a transitional species, the thing whose only purpose was to bring the next intelligence into existence. And he is the one building it. The man with the most visibility into where this is going has stopped trying to stop it. He has joined the race instead, because in his own words, he could either be a spectator or a participant, but he could not stop it. The off-ramp is gone for him too. He calls the next 5 years a tsunami. He calls humans 20-watt meat computers. He calls our greatest achievements the equivalent of monkeys building a raft. He says when the system plays itself, you will lose and you will not even know why. And his final line, the thought he lands on after 2.5 hours of describing the end of the human dominant era, is that he hopes it is nice to us. If the richest man in history, the man building the technology, the man who warned the world for over a decade and watched the world ignore him, no longer believes there is a way to slow this down, what does that tell you about the next 5 years? Subscribe, because by the time most people understand what has happened, the decisions will already have been made, the structures will already be in place, and the window to do anything differently will already be closed.